Let's start with the NFL playoffs because I think we have an opportunity here on Saturday, tomorrow, to coronate another awesome team atop the AFC. Jake, I think tomorrow is a huge day for your Buffalo Bills. I am a huge Buffalo Bills believer. I am somebody that thinks Josh Allen is one of the great young quarterbacks in this league. But I'm also a realist. If we're keeping it real, I am also a realist. I think he's young. And no matter how bulletproof to pressure you are, I got to believe he's going to feel it a little bit. Are we going to see the coronation of Josh Allen tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you are. I think, they have been to the postseason a couple times, before this season. And I think, he's gained a lot of experience. And yes, he is young. But I think in today's NFL, being young isn't necessarily an indictment on how well you can play. Will he feel butterflies before the game? Will there be some of those? Yeah, I'm sure there will be. But listen, once these guys get out on the field, he takes that first snap. Like, once they're playing, it's go time. That all that goes away, and it's just simply time for them to play ball. And I think the thing here that I really like about this game is that the Colts are going to Buffalo. It's going to be outside, it's going to be cold as hell, and it's going to be a grinder of a football game. If this was in Indy, inside on a turf field, okay, maybe a little bit different. But because this is outside, I feel like that suits the Bills really well. And I just feel like Josh Allen is ready to take that step. He's played so well this season. He'd almost certainly be the MVP if Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, weren't doing what they're doing. He's right there. So I guess I have more confidence in the Bills than maybe you do, but this is a game to me that they should win this game. They should. It's time.
Well, I think it's a critical moment in time for Josh Allen and the Bills, and I understand that there's a lot of people who really think that, hey, a guy like Phillip Rivers throws interceptions, turns the football over, the Bills are going to win this game going away. I would say not so fast. Not so fast. I think that the second quarter is going to be the critical part of this football game because I think that's really going to set the tone. I mean, Buffalo's favored by just short of a touchdown, 6.5 points, and I have to think they cover that number.
Right.
I love the Bills in this game, not for just Josh Allen, but what he's done for that offense, what he's done for Stephon Diggs, who 1,000-yard receiver, 127 catches this year. Like, he had a monster season that we never even saw in Minnesota.
Yep.
He's become legit. But this Buffalo Bills defense is here to stay.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, that's the difference. It's in Buffalo, and I love the Bills to cover the 6.5, Jake.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too that you should be watching in this game is how much workload does Jonathan Taylor get? I mean, is the strategy coming into this game going to be to ride him early and to allow him to really set the tone? Again, in a outdoor game in the cold, you would think that the running game would be something that the Bills would go with for a minute, but I could also totally see them just going with what works and what has been working, which is giving Josh Allen the football and letting him make plays. So, again, if I'm looking at this game, I would not be saying, hey, they're going to win this game because Phillip Rivers is going to turn the football over. That may happen, but that's not why they'll win the game. That'll only help them win the game. The reason they're going to win this game is because Josh Allen is playing really well. This is not his first rodeo in the postseason, and it feels like they as a team are ready to take that next step. As far as the score is concerned, I have no problem seeing them put up 27 to 30 points in this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of those was in the running game.
Well, I think for sure.
Yeah,
I think for sure. I mean, I still maintain that you're going to have to throw the ball to win a Super Bowl. I think there's no doubt about it in today's world. If the running game plays a huge factor in the Bills and Colts game, Colts are winning that game. Because I'm telling you, Jonathan Taylor's legit. The guy can really run the football. And if he's running the football, that really opens things up for Phillip Rivers. I think that's a really good point, frankly. But we'll see what happens here. I'm taking the Bills to win this game by 10. I think there's a lot of momentum there. Obviously, it's not going to be full of fans and it's not going to be lit, but the Bills Mafia is going to show up. They're going to jump off of RVs and break plastic tables, and they're going to do their thing. And I think the Bills are going to win this game by between 9 and 10 points. That's your official pick is what?
Is Buffalo, for sure.
By a lot, by
10.
Okay, so you're sticking with 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. Rams are at the Seahawks. The 12s will not be a factor. The Seahawks are at home. They're favored by 3.5. And it's interesting you talk about the running game because I also wonder about Jared Goff in this game. And I wonder how much the Rams will have to run the football to win. And remember, this isn't Todd Gurley running the football for the Rams into the Super Bowl. This is a team that uses multiple backs out of multiple sets to try and get the running game going. And I thought what was interesting when Wolford played last week for the Rams, he gave them a true running quarterback, and it was massively effective against Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks are going to win this game, but I wonder how the Rams come out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Certainly, I think, Jared Goff is going to start. I really don't even think that's in question as much as they want to downplay it. You can't tell me that Jared Goff is not starting this game. As far as his leash is concerned, if they get down in this game, I know this sounds crazy, but if I were Sean McVay, I would not hesitate to put John Wolford in if you're down in this game.
I wouldn't either.
Like if you're going in the half down by 10, there's real credence in bringing in John Wolford to start the second half and getting that running game going for him as a quarterback, getting the pass game going. Because the thing is with Jared Goff, or with any quarterback that's not a mobile quarterback, if you're not hitting the run game by handing it off and then you're not able to run play action, you're done.
Huge.
Now, a lot of quarterbacks are like Tom Brady. It's never been an issue for Tom, right? It's never been an issue for some of these guys like an Aaron Rodgers who is mobile, but he's not a running quarterback for first downs. But for the Rams and for Jared Goff is a statue back there. The guy moves around the pocket. He can roll out. He can do those things. But he's not running for first down the way John Wolford's running for first down. Now, the thing I will say is that the Seahawks defense is significantly better than the Cardinals defense. That's not even in question. So I'm not sitting here saying that what Wolford did last week is even an option this week. But what I am saying is, hey, if you're down by 10 and this defense is shutting you down and you've only got 7 to 10 points heading into the half, and they're in the 20s already, you've got to get a spark lit. And for Jared Goff, this is a game that, to me, could really affect his future in the organization.
But on the flip side of this game, look at the Seattle Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
They need Jamal Adams to have a huge game in this game. They need Russell Wilson to be an MVP. You're not going to run on the LA Rams. They're one of the best run defenses in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why DK Metcalf now becomes a vital figure in this game, Jake, because he's emerged as one of the top wide receiver weapons in the entire league.
Yeah.
I think DK Metcalf has been one of the best draft picks we've seen in the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He's a stud. He's a weapon. I think he's surprised a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to beat the Rams, I'm curious if the Rams just try to put Jalen Ramsey on DK.
I would.
And well, I don't know, though. You have a diverse set of wide receivers. Russell Wilson has shown that he is fine spreading the football around.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I would be so sure that DK Metcalf is his primary target. I'm not throwing at Jalen Ramsey.
Well, but that's the thing. So, when you're going up against a defense and a secondary that wasn't as good as they've ever been, but they're still pretty solid, if you're going to... If they put Jalen Ramsey on DK Metcalf and they just say, hey, you're going to play Jalen the entire game. Where you go, Jalen's going. Okay, great. That's fine if you're the Seahawks. There's still ways to get DK open, But at the end of the day, if I'm the Rams, I'm doing that. I want to take away as many options as possible. I want my best defender on your best player, and I want it to come down to the other guys on the field. So that's how I would approach it.
Well, and I also think you have to wonder how Seattle stack their wide receivers. I think you have to look at things like bunches. Tyler Lockett is a guy you can count on if you're Russell Wilson. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's somebody that you very clearly have great chemistry with. He's somebody that you very clearly enjoy throwing the football to. Between 3 and 3.5 is a really interesting number in this game, because I think one of these teams is getting blown out. I think, in all likelihood, that's going to be the LA Rams getting torched. I wonder if there is a defensive touchdown on the Seattle side of the football. I think that is a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
I think if Seattle gets a defensive touchdown, and I know this isn't rocket science, but if the Seahawks are able to turn Jared Goff over, because for the record, I think it's a mistake to start him in this game.
It's not if they turn him over. They're going to turn him over. He turned the ball over in the Super Bowl. He's known to turn it over. He will turn the football over in this game. It's just going to be a matter of, hey, once he turns it over, number one, when in the game does that happen? Is that on their second possession of the game in the first quarter? Is that deep in the game in a critical moment? Like, when does that happen? And how can they bounce back from that? Because this is a game, to me, this game will get into the 20s points wise. There's no doubt about that, in my opinion. And again, I just feel like the first person to 30 in these games wins the game.
Well, let's keep in mind a couple of things. Not to belabor Jared Goff's frickin' thumb. He was listed as limited. And when asked about limited after practice, Sean McVay said, I don't even know what the heck limited means.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff's going to start this game.
Yeah.
He's been throwing. He went through full pregame warm-up last week, not in pads, but he went through the whole throwing drill last week. I mean, he's going to play.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I agree with you. I think they turn him over.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a mistake to start him. I really do. Wolford gave them energy, and I actually thought he threw the ball really well in the second half. I'd have started John Wolford in this game. But I'm not Sean McVay. And we've talked about Sean McVay on this show before. And I think there are some questions to be asked. If Jared Goff comes out terrible, I think you have to have a quick trigger on him.
Yeah, look, I think I don't even disagree with your point about starting Wolford in this game, but I think that the reality is that's just not a realistic that would never happen in this situation simply because Wolford's done it one time. Jared Goff's been doing this thing for however long it's been now, 5, 6, 7 seasons or whatever it is, and he's taken them places and he has a reputation on the team now. Again, I completely agree. I would have a short leash. If you get down in this game, we'll see you later, bro. We're putting Wolford in. We'll die on that hill because he played well. He showed you, to your point, some of those throws. It's not just that he threw the ball well. Some of the throws he made against the Cardinals were tight windows. Other throws he made had great touch. So he's more than capable of playing the position. But he's not going to get a shot in this game unless Jared Goff flames.
Yeah, and I don't see Goff flaming. I think it's going to be more the thumb is not option.
Well, that'll be the excuse.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I think the LA Rams are winning this game. I think they cover, or no, I think the Seahawks are winning this game. I think they cover that 3.5. I think they win by a touchdown. And I think you really have to watch if Jared Goff gives up a pick six, or if Jared Goff puts the ball on the ground, fumble, strip sack.
Yeah.
They're going to blitz him.
Yep.
They're going to hit him. They're going to bring pressure up the middle because it's the thumb he hit on a helmet.
Yeah.
They're going to bring pressure up the middle. So my guess is he's going to be really tested early. I think this game's going to be decided in the first and second quarter. I do.
Yeah, I would agree. If I was the Seahawks, I would test him early as well. I'd blitz the hell out of him early. I do think that this game has the potential, to me, to come down to a field goal, and the reason I say that is because I do think the Rams are going to score a decent amount in this game and stay with the Seahawks. But if it's just one turnover, okay, you can work with that.
You can live with that.
But if it's 2 turnovers, and certainly if it's 3 turnovers, then the Seahawks are definitely winning this game by like 7 to 10 points. But my gut tells me to go with 1 turnover for Jared Goff. He plays the whole game, It comes down to a kick. That's what I think happens. That's what I think happens.
You're liking a close game. By the way, are we gonna sit out? Are we gonna sit at Casa de Monte in the crib and eat them wings?
Yeah, bro, man, come on, man. Okay, sorry. Back on track.
Kind of got carried away and stuff. Well, I mean, we're gonna eat wings, but anyway, the point is, listen, man. I'm gonna get extra Bowflex workout. I'll get a workout in tonight and tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to be
what it is.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, the drop machine's working today. Anyway, my point is, I love the Seahawks in this game to cover the 3.5, and then there is the game of the day. Tom Brady against the Washington football team.
So I said, yeah.
Tom Terrific, TB12, mouth kissing his son. I am what he does. We've seen it on awkward. We've seen it on tape that he does. I love this game. I am excited about this game. Do not dampen my spirit by pointing out that, my God, Chase Young is going to break him in half.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
No, it's not. Are you telling me? See, here's my question about this game. I am really, 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 really curious. Can Tom Brady get the ball out fast enough to avoid the inevitable body blows that he's going to take from one of the best and certainly the most underrated pass rushes in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Can Tom Brady get the ball out? Can Tom Brady use the Mike Evans of the world, the Chris Godwins of the world, the Antonio Browns of the world?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, the pound it like a porn star Rob Gronkowski's of the world. Can he get the football out? Man, your Donnie drops are on point. Can he get the football out fast enough to survive for another mouth kiss with his son? Okay, that's probably too far. But my point is, Tom Brady's got to get rid of the football. Because do not sell the Washington football team's pass rush or defense short. They are there to stay. Chase Young has been sensational at times. They play 3 defensive tackles who can all stop the run and get after the quarterback. Jake, my single question is, how much time will Tom Brady spend on the air?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly going to get hit in this game. There's no doubt about it. I think, for Chase Young, this is one of those opportunities as a young guy in the league, or a younger guy in the league, to really start solidifying who you are. Like, people know you can play. People know you're a hell of a pass rusher. People fear you as a pass rusher, but now you're in the postseason. In Washington, you're in the postseason, which means it's even more vital that you come through and you perform. Now, to answer your question about Tom Brady and getting the pass out and everything like that, yes, I think what you're going to see in the first 2 possessions of this game for Tom Brady is a steady diet of underneath passes and a steady diet of handing the football off and setting that tone that, hey, I'm not just going to stand back here and let you hit me. Where I think the rubber meets the road, though, for this Bucs team against this Washington defense is if there's incompletions early, if the Bucs don't execute, if there's a lot of 3 and outs in the first 5 possessions, now you're in trouble because now you're probably going to be behind a little bit and you're going to have to take shots. But knowing Tom Brady, knowing the playoff acumen, knowing the leadership, I would really be surprised if they didn't get the job done.
Knowing he's an 8-point favorite at Washington on the road in the playoffs is a really interesting line. The boys in Vegas love Brady and the Bucs. Not so fast. Mike Evans is not 100%.
I swear to God, if you go with the Washington football team, don't.
What are you going to do?
Don't.
You're going to have Are you going to have an insurrection here on the show?
Don't.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, I am.
Are you going to cause mayhem and dress up like dress up like
the
a
coronavirus?
Goat? No, easy. Dress up like a goat and put horns on your head and sit at my desk.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not funny to joke about that, but the point is, you know who I'm going with here.
Don't.
I'm going with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Thank
Tom
you.
Brady and his fine wife, Giselle. I think they're going to celebrate with procreatorial activities on Sunday morning. Because I think Tom Brady is winning, but not covering. I think 8's too much.
8 points. That is a lot.
On the road.
That's a lot, bro.
In Washington against the football team that doesn't have a name. Landover, Maryland.
It's not going to be like snowing for this game or anything, right?
No, 43 and partly sunny is the forecast.
Okay, yeah.
I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah, dude, come on.
I feel good about Tampa. I don't see any way that, the Bucs lose this game with their dynamic defense. Their linebackers are really fast. I do love Terry McLaurin in that wide receiver group, but I think they're young and unproven. What? Why are you laughing? I think I think that there's no question in my mind Tampa's a better team, and I think in the playoffs usually
Yeah.
in the early rounds the better team wins the game.
Unless they turn the football over. That's the only thing that equalizes games like this. So, yeah, I'm going with the Bucs as well. I like this to be another 10-point victory for them.
By the way, and I do think that it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Tyler wants to know why I have to bring up mouth kissing between men at 6:30 in the morning. Well, what do you mean?
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
I mean, is there a better time to bring it up if you want to let me know? Like, is this a 2:00 conversation?
I want it.
I mean, if you want to let me know what time, I was unaware that there was a protocol for mouth kissing men talk, in the afternoon and stuff.
Sometimes I think I just say shit. Sample what comes out of my mouth.
That's a clip from yesterday's show. But the point is, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Tom Brady did this, Brady Bunch style show on Facebook. Like he had this show created, and there was a scene that was really awkward because there was a long, or how shall I say this, elongated mouth kiss between Tom Brady and his son.
I love that show.
And I'm sure you did.
Hey, man.
You were single at the time and lonely and thirsty.
Hey, look here, man.
But the point is, you got to do what you got to do. My point is that Tom Brady had an awkward kiss with his son on his Facebook show. Right? You saw it.
Yeah.
It was awkward.
It was elongated, and it was, yeah.
No, the kiss. Stop talking about other men's parts.
No.
No. My point is, it was awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And so I awkwardly make it awkwardly. But anyway, I think he's going to win. Fine. Let's move to Sunday because now it's awkward.
Now we get real.
Sorry to ruin your breakfast, Tyler. The Baltimore Ravens travel to Smashville to take on the Titans who play in Tennessee. And I think it's interesting in a 4-5 matchup that you're going to have a line in this game that, again, in a 4-5 matchup, favors the 5 on the road. The Ravens are a 3-point favorite in this game. Mm-hmm. And for the life of me, I cannot figure that out because that feels completely wrong to me.
Yeah, it's just that's a respect thing. I think that plays right into the fact that it is Lamar Jackson with his running ability and his ability to create chaos. Now, I will say to that end, he hasn't been the same guy that he was, a year ago, 2 years ago, certainly. But yeah, I think that's probably why the line is there. But again, I'm gonna take the Titans in this game, and it's probably gonna come back to get me at the end of the day. But the reason I want to, and I'm going to take the Titans is because when you have that level of running back sitting in your backfield, willing and ready to deliver the hammer to the defense, to defensive backs, the linebackers, when you can do that to a defense, that's game-changing. We've seen it many times. I'm not saying he's going to break out and run for like 250 against the Ravens, but what I am saying is early in this game, when you want to set the tone in a playoff game, you're handing that thing off to Derrick Henry, and you're letting him go to work. And then off of that, that's where they really start to thrive. So that's why I say they are built to run. This is what they do, and I'd be really surprised if they were not able to get the run game going.
This is incredibly disrespectful to the Titans. And somebody needs to tell the boys in Vegas to tighten up. That's their slogan.
Oh, because it's okay. Got it.
See what I did there?
Yeah, okay,
I mean, it's natural ability.
Yeah,
I have.
got it,
Anyway,
okay.
The point is,
Yep.
the Titans are a frustratingly inconsistent team at times.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a guy like Ryan Tannehill, who showed last week that he can straight throw the football down the field,
Yep.
that when it counts, he can throw the football down the field, because you have to really be weary of the play action in Tennessee, because the point you made is exactly right. Derrick Henry is an absolute threat to house the football every single time he gets it. He is physical. Their offensive line is more than capable of opening up holes. And once Derrick Henry gets to the second level, he is a real problem. And in my mind, I think Tennessee wins this game. And I say that because I'm not telling you that the Ravens defense is bad. They're not the same Ravens defense we've seen over time.
Right.
And it doesn't feel like the Titans are ready to go home yet. Now, I could be completely wrong about this. The other aspect of this game I think that has to be talked about is how confident are you that Lamar Jackson's a guy who can put a team on his back and ride it, and they can ride him to the Super Bowl. I am not a Lamar Jackson guy. I think the league is caught up to him.
Certainly.
And they have not made adjustments to the way he plays.
Certainly. Yeah, I completely agree. I think the league is definitely caught up to him just the same way the league caught up to Kyler Murray this year. And I think for Lamar, the problem is that he is not a guy that came up into the league with great throwing mechanics and great touch on the football and like elite ability to put the football in places that are tight windows but are more than catchable balls for his wide receivers. And I think, yes, he's made some great throws over his career. Yes, he can throw good enough to get the job done, but this is the postseason now. We're not talking about Week 5 against the Jaguars. This is a huge game, and if I'm the Titans in this game, I'm pissed off about what happened in Green Bay, and I'm taking that out on Baltimore. And I would love to say that the Titans will turn him over at least one time to get an extra possession that they really, weren't going to get. And I think if that happens and they do what they always do on the ground, I think they're going to win this game. But I don't know, man. It just, for some reason, with the Ravens, we're not at a point yet where we can say they're not a dangerous team, because they frankly are a dangerous team. He can make things happen, but he just hasn't done that. He hasn't been the same guy this year, so it's hard to weigh, hey, will Lamar have a huge game, or is the more likely outcome that the Titans are going to run the hell out of the football, they're then going to work play action off of that, and they're going to have their way. That's what I feel like is going to happen in this game.
Well, it's interesting. The one thing you didn't bring up was J.K. Dobbins, and I think Dobbins has really become that 1A, or the 1A to Lamar Jackson being 1. And I think that's something that the Ravens needed. But Lamar Jackson has not played well in the playoffs. And I want to say he's 0 for 3 in playoff games at this point. I mean, I think he really needs this game. And I think he's going to be pressing. And again, I happen to think Mike Vrabel's done a really nice job in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. And I think that the Titans are going to get this win. I think it's going to be the upset of the weekend, because I think a lot of people view the Baltimore Ravens as a Super Bowl contender, and rightfully so. I mean, they have talent. I just don't think they're getting enough out of Lamar Jackson. You can only run for so long. And I'll say again, at some point, the quarterback is going to have to stand in the pocket and deliver the football down the field to win a championship. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson's never shown the ability to do that, especially in the playoffs. And I think that does not change Sunday in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Titans to tighten up in this game. Well, okay. I'm not going to talk about the Bears. I'm going to talk about the Browns and the Steelers. Can we just get it out of the way? Are we taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, man?
I do that every day, but
reference.
Okay.
The toilet reference. By the way, the toilet's getting replaced on Monday.
Yes.
Anyway, the point is, listen to me. The Browns are ravaged by coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate what's going on with Stefanski. A couple other coaches. A lot of critical players on this team. They're one of the best left guards in football. It's really unfortunate, because the Browns are one of the best stories of the postseason. Your guy, who you have one of those, what do they call those wall stickers you have of naked
Fatheads.
Fatheads. You have a naked Baker Mayfield fathead to go with your Baker Mayfield blow-up doll.
Just take it nice and easy, okay? Just relax.
By the way, is that marker, or did you glue on your own facial hair onto Baker Mayfield to make the 5 o'clock shadow?
It was Sharpie.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, that's awkward. The point is, you're a huge Baker Mayfield guy. can Baker Mayfield overcome the coronavirus on this team? And somehow, some way, anyway, is it possible to beat the Steelers on Sunday?
No, because he's going to turn the football over 2 to 3 times in this game, and this game's going to get out of hand, in my opinion. I think the Steelers are an outright better team. I think the Steelers' defense is more than capable of winning this game on their own without the offense having to do really too much or do anything extraordinary. And this is where, if you're Baker Mayfield, this is where your ability to turn the football over so much comes back to get you. I love Baker Mayfield. I love his ability to make plays. I love the chaos that he's able to kind of generate by rolling out and the things he's able to do. But the guy turns the football over too much. You take risks you shouldn't take. You should throw it away more often. And that's why I say, we're not at Oklahoma anymore, bro. You can't just throw the ball anywhere you want to, and your guy's going to go and get it. That's not how the NFL works. And so that's why I say, when he's in the moment, he's rolling out to his right, everyone's covered. What does he decide to do? Does he throw it away and make the responsible choice, or does he try to play hero ball and fit it into a tiny window and double coverage? And that's why I say I don't think they really have a shot in this game, and I hope that I'm wrong, because you're right. I am a Baker guy. I love the story of the Browns. I love what they do. I love Chubb, and I love everything they got going, but I just don't think that this is their time.
I wish it was, because I think the Browns are fun.
Yeah.
I think it's been too long since the Browns have been a serious contender. I mean, I remember watching the fumble game. I remember watching Bernie Kosar take this team into the playoffs. I miss the Browns being good. They're not going to beat the Steelers. Forget it. It's over. And I hate saying that, but the reality is that when you look at where the Browns and the Steelers are, they're in two different places. The Steelers are an elite football team, which is why they're a 6-point favorite in this game at home. And I think it's much more than that. Yeah. I think this is a 17-point win, walking away from the Browns for the Steelers. And I'd like to keep talking about this game so I don't have to talk about the Bears going to the Saints.
Wait, did you say it was a 17-point win?
Yeah, it comes before 16 or hello, it comes after 16 before 18. I'll take my socks off.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I didn't do my math homework. It comes after 16 and before 18. 17?
Nice job. Good
17
job.
magazine?
Yeah, good job.
Read it every day. Yeah, I think they're 17 point. They're going to win this game by 17 points, walking away from the Browns.
Man, that'd be a tough loss. That's an ass kicking.
But you're going to struggle to protect Baker.
Yeah.
Baker's going to have to run for his life.
Yep.
He's going to turn the football over. And I think that Steeler defense is going to eat.
Yeah, probably, man. I agree. I think it's over 10, 17 or 12 or whatever it ends up being. Anywhere in there, I would agree. I just hope that they don't embarrass themselves. I mean, it's one thing to lose and lose to a better team, and that's just how it was. But it's another thing to turn the football over 3 times and look bad doing it, So for their sake, I just hope that they at least play a solid game.
Yeah, and I think you need to keep an eye on Juju Smith-Schuster and his situation in this game, because just keep an eye on it. I think that Claypool is a huge figure for the Steelers in this game. So we'll see how all that goes. Then we got to talk about the Bears.
All right, cool. Let's move on. All right.
Who dey? I have to believe they get torched in this game. I'd like to think they wouldn't. I would love to sit here and tell you, I'd love to sit up on this dais and tell you that the Chicago football team, known as the Bears, are going to go to New Orleans and win. They're not. They're going to get their ass kicked. They're not. I mean, maybe you should handle this game, because I'm probably too emotionally tied to it. And look, listen. I love the Chicago Bears. Are you kidding me? Like, hello? This is the shit. My point is, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to lose. And the thing that I'm worried about, let's talk worst case scenario for the Chicago Bears.
They lose by 30.
No, they win. Because then for sure Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy are coming back.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Okay, they lose by 30. Fucking fire those guys.
We'll
You're
see ya.
out. You're out. You're out. Like, that would be amazing. Best case scenario is the Bears don't score,
Yeah.
and they give up like 79 points. Like I would
Bowl game
rejoice.
status.
I would rejoice. I would rejoice if it was Alabama versus Florida A&T Technical Culinary School.
We're getting somewhere.
I would rejoice if it was a score like that.
Yeah.
Because as a bitter Chicago Bear fan, I want Matt Nagy's ass fired. Mm-hmm. Somehow, some way, I think this is going to be a close game because Drew Brees ain't that guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bears have had protection issues. I'm not going to make a comment.
I'm
joke.
not. No,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not. I'm not
Grow
playing
up.
into your childish games.
Grow up.
Clear on that?
Yeah, grow up. The point is, I think the Bears have had protection issues. I think this defense in New Orleans is underrated. And I think they probably win this game by 14 points.
Yeah. Why is it that there's some sense in this conversation about this game that the Bears are going to be in this game? Like, there's just something there. Like, they always find a way to play a really down and dirty game with whoever they're playing, and it's a low-scoring, grind-it-out kind of game. And the only thing working against that is the fact that it's the Saints. And that's a high-powered offense. You know, Taters is going to come into the game and sling the ball down the field when Drew Brees inevitably gets smashed. You know, like, I want the Bears to be better, but they're not. And they need to lose this game. So next year when we're sitting on this podcast talking about the Bears, Deshaun Watson can be their quarterback, and they can actually have a chance of going to the Super Bowl.
Speaking of smash, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button while we talk about the demise of the Chicago Bears. Appreciate you subscribing on our YouTube channel. Just search The Monty Show on YouTube, Monty, The Monty Show on YouTube, and hit subscribe.
See, that's a professional transition. Good job.
Here's the reel on the Bears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're going to be in this game. If I was putting my money on this game, I would think that it would be within a touchdown in the fourth quarter. I think Mitchell Trubisky's good enough if they let him be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately at the end of the day, I think that this Saints defense is going to overcome, and I think they're going to get a critical turnover because inevitably Matt Nagy won't run the football.
Yeah.
And David Montgomery will be marginalized late. They'll hand him the ball 7-8 times on the opening drive. They will forget he's even on the roster in the third and fourth quarter.
So you're thinking like 30-24 Saints.
I'm thinking somewhere along the lines of, like, what's Vegas say? I didn't even look at the number on this game. 47. 47. That tells you they don't think the Bears are going to score much.
Yeah. So they're thinking it's going to be like, what, 20?
I think this is going to be a 30-17 kind of game.
Yeah.
30-21. I think it's over the 47.
Yeah.
I think the Saints cover it's over the 47. But, honestly, I think it's within a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And then the Saints will probably pull away late.